Welcome to the Iron Horse Route, home of the Denver Rio Grand Western. This is Brian. I'm glad you're here, and if you're not already a subscriber, I want to encourage you to subscribe, because when you're a subscriber here, you get access to a lot of great model railroad video uploads. And so now that you're subscribed, we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video upload, which is coming up right now.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey there. How y'all doing? Uh-oh. My camera doesn't look real clear right here. All right, if you're joining us on replay, hopefully we're going to get a better picture. Maybe it's just not good on the computer I'm watching. But what we're going to do is I'm getting ready to do some 3D printer maintenance. Just have to change the filament in both the printers, which is simple, but I'm going to show y'all how I do that. And then next, I have a problem in one of the 3D printers, and I'm going to talk more about that when I get it swung around. But I have 3 different possible fixes for it and the parts to do all those fixes, because I'm kind of at my wit's end with one of the printers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the cameras. Let's see here. It says excellent. All right, here, here. All right. And so the printer right here that I'm pointing at, all right, right there. Okay. It is having this problem with the extruder. And so what's happening is the filament's coming through and melting and going out just like it's supposed to. And then about 45 minutes into the print, it fouls up, it clogs up, and it gets all stopped up, and no more filament will come out. And I have to do some awful maintenance to get it cleared out and cleaned out and try to run it again. And I've done that to my wit's end. So I got some new things to work on that, and I'll show you more about that in a second. I'm going to spin this camera around in a It says excellent connection, but it sure doesn't look like it. So I sure would like to know what it's like going out there. I know what it looks like in my house, but so here's what I want to do. I'm gonna swing this. Well, maybe I'll open the box first. Let's do that. So I'll switch the camera back real quick. Uh-oh. Wonder why we'd be buffering if it says excellent connection. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, let's go back here. Looks like it's moving again good now. All right. Let's see. Forgive me putting my butt in your face. All right. All right, so I usually use Hatchbox Pro Max PLA, and I've been having some trouble with that lately. So what thought I yeah, I did. So what I did is I kind of did some searches and everything, and I decided to try this eSun filament, and so we're gonna see how that works for us. The Pro Max Plus Hatchbox is pretty expensive, and the last couple prints, two or three prints, two or three spools I got from them, have not been quality. Sure hope these kinks get worked out of this stream. I see that I'm buffering here. I don't see anything here. Let me go over here. Why is it doing that? Huh. Well, I certainly don't blame anybody for not staying, because I don't understand what's wrong with this. I wonder if I need to reset my router. I do really like this color. Let's see here. So what I'm going to do the first. Hey JD, how you doing? It's good to see you. My cameras are kind of buffering and stuff. I'm hoping the kinks get worked out of it. Are you able to hear me? So thank you. Good to know. Let me know if you're getting a bad picture or something, because I'm sometimes getting it over here, but it could be because I'm watching it on a laptop that's connected to my Wi-Fi. I'm streaming from a laptop from a computer that's connected to my Wi-Fi. I got my phone watching the stream too. Blah blah blah. So hopefully it's just me. But what I got going on is I have filament that I'm going to replace, and then I also have some maintenance I'm going to do. This right here is a new titanium heat break, and it sounds expensive because it's got the word titanium, but it's not. It's only like $10, and I get two of them. Let's see how good we can see this. All right. And so just quick explanation, and then I'll show better when I'm at the 3D printer. This thing is called a heat break. And what it does is it breaks the heat. The filament comes down into here. The nozzle is right here at the bottom. And the filament comes down through here. But you don't want your filament to melt until it gets to the nozzle, to the bottom here. And so this thing right here goes down into the hot end, and it prevents the heat from melting the filament. Yeah, pretty much. I guess that's exactly what it is, JD. Now that you mentioned that, I guess it's exactly a heat sink. It keeps the you know, the filament from melting up. Because what happens is if the filament melts up into here, it gets all clogged up. You got to take the whole dang 3D printer apart. And so what has happened, I'm hoping actually, is I'm hoping that after 3 years or whatever, mine has worn out, the stock one. And so I'm going to change it because I'm getting, you know, you weren't here quite yet. What's happening, JD, is one of my printers that's bulletproof normally, 45 minutes into the print, stops printing. The filament stops coming out. And what is happening is it's getting clogged up after that time. It's getting hot, and the heat is coming up. And I don't think that my heat sink is working. And so my filament melts. And once it gets up into here melted, then it clogs up totally, won't do anything. The whole extruder, everything's got to be taken apart. And then basically what happens is you put it back together and you try it again and it runs perfectly and you think everything's fine. And then you come back 45 minutes later and the same thing happened. Hopefully that's got something to do with it. Another thing that we got is a new cooling fan. The old cooling fan was not working or sounding very good and healthy before. And then I was changing something totally different and hit it and broke the other one. So it's still kind of, I just broke the face off of it. But what we got is, and I bet I have another one of these here too now that I see this. So what we got is we have a couple new cooling fans. And what they do is they stick to the side of the extruder. You got your heat sink that's coming down like this. Filament's coming down through here. And this is outside of that, outside of the hot end. And this fan is blowing in on that hot end too to do it as well. And so since my fan wasn't real healthy or doing real good, I decided I was going to replace it as well. And that could be another part of the problem because I'm tired of doing band-aids and stuff not working. And finally, what can happen, there shouldn't be too much else it could be, but I'm going to say that and mess up. These are little clips that keep these pneumatic couplers in the up position. All right, my clips were old and worn out for one, and I was worried that my pneumatic, see these pneumatic couplers that you hear it snap? Well, you might not. All right. So what happens is you push it down and the filament will go down through, and then once it pops back up, it won't come back out. You pop in the clip to keep it held up, and you know, as an extra security measure. If these get weak and the filament starts to, the tube starts to get pushed back up, then you've got a gap there where the filament can melt and cause everything to clog back up. So, third possibility. So, hopefully we got it covered. A couple of these things are a little bit easier than the others. I'm going to do the heat sink first, or the heat break, whatever. Because to do the fan, and I might do the fan live as long as everything goes well, but to do the fan, I actually have to open the brains of the Ender 3 up. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to properly show that to y'all. And I don't, oh, these have clips. All right, thank goodness. They sent me one that didn't have clips and one that did. And I like the one with the clips a whole lot better. They were good. I wonder if they're different. See, these didn't have a clip, but I think mine has the plug-in, which will make it a whole lot easier. Working with the motherboard is tough. And so I guess I'll have to see. This says brushless. Oh, wait, they are different. They're different fans. One's for the interior. I didn't know they were sending the interior one too. I'm going to change them both though to make sure. But again, that in changing these is a little more risque to do online, while streaming. And what's not so hard is changing the filament. And what happens is when you're working with these little these printers, the bolts and screws are super small, and they're really hard to even. It's hard to handle them to get them where they belong, and so you get a lot of dropped screws and looking on the carpet for them and stuff like that. And barring moving the printers all the way somewhere else, that's what's going to happen. Okay, JD, that's cool. Um, I'll be happy to help you whether you want formal help or informal help. Either way, you let me know. We can do that. I'm on superprof if you actually want formal tutoring help, but I'll help you like anyway. Just let me know what you need when you have questions or get stuck or whatever. But I'm actually for the summer. I'm teaching 3D people 3D modeling and 3D printing on superprof, um, because I am a certified computer science and engineering teacher. So I'm able to go on there and do that. And so it's kind of fun too. I don't have many clients yet. I've only got like one and a half, but one guy I've worked with about 4 different sessions. And I've just got like, we basically do it like this stream, except for I show my screen too, and I can see their screen and I can see their 3D printer. And I've helped him with some troubleshooting on his new 3D printer, and then I'm walking him into learning how to do it. He doesn't. He's brand new to the hobby, so he doesn't know anything about Tinkercad, Cura, or the 3D printer itself. But you said you have a Bamboo Lab A1. What is that? Should I know what that is? Oh, Bamboo Lab A1 is the name of your printer. Okay. Is the Bamboo Lab A1 a resin or a filament printer? All right. So let's do filament. All right. And so what are you able to get things from Thingiverse and print them? You know what, JD? I got an idea about something else too. I'll talk to you about that later. But I'm gonna say that on here. But I would assume, and I could be wrong, but I assume you know how to go to Thingiverse, download it, uh, put it in the slicer, take it from the slicer to the 3D printer and 3D print. Is that correct? But what you don't know how to do maybe is within the slicer, you might not know how to cool. But within the slicer, you're not sure how to change the size or manipulate it, right? And to do the majority of manipulations, you're going to want to import it to Tinkercad. And then you're going to do whatever monkeying around with it you want to do. And then you send it to whatever. I like Cura. I know more about Cura, but you whatever your slicer is. And then from within your slicer, depending upon what it is, I could probably figure out how to tell you how to rescale it. But worst case scenario, Cura is free. And so if you get into to the point where you're not happy with the one you're using or you need more help, and then I can offer, just because I don't know what I'm doing with yours, you can use Cura for yours. Most people use Cura. I use Cura for the Prusa I have at work rather than the Prusa splicer. It's just because I'm a lot more familiar with it. Now my the raised 3D E2 at work has its own. I can print from it from here at home on my phone and stop the print if it's not right or whatever from here. It's cool. But what I'm going to do first is now a couple questions, JD, because I'm curious. You may or may not know the answer to them. Do you have a direct drive, or do you have a is your filament fed through a Bowden tube? Yeah. All right. So JD, what you're going to do is you have to have like if you're using something that you're not designing yourself. Okay, say you're getting you found a house on Thingiverse, tube fed. Okay, so yeah, and so I'll be able to show you some things. We have similar extruders and stuff. I'll be able to show you some things. You might not be having any problems, and you watch YouTube. So basically, the guy that I'm helping just doesn't want to spend 12 hours a day watching YouTube to fix one problem. So he spends an hour with me. Because what happens is, his stuff will get clogged up and he'll come on and I'll tell him how to get it fixed, things like that. But what I'll do is show you the extruder that I'm using too, and some hints. But anyway, back to what you were saying. Say you got a cabin from Thingiverse. All right. And so what you're going to want to do is you have to figure out with your slicer how to use the measuring tool, and depending upon the slicer. But what I usually, and I mean, you can YouTube how to measure stuff in whatever. And so what I usually do is I take a door. I always find a door. All right. And then I go to, you can go to any scale model site that does, conversions for you, scale model converters online. Just Google scale model conversions or whatever, conversion chart or scale model converters. And then you'll just put in 1 to 87 and you'll put in the measurements in centimeters of a regular door, of what a door, an exterior door should be in centimeters, height and width. And then you convert it, and the scale converter tells you what size it's going to be in centimeters. You convert that to millimeters, which is just easy. It's just dividing by 10 or 100 or what, 10, I think. But and so it's going to tell you, okay, your HO scale door should be, and I can't believe I can't remember that. I want to go look it up now. Hold on. Let's see here. I got it. I got the chart on my computer here. I hope I don't mess everything up trying to run something else. All right. Real size to scale size, 1 to 87. Real size would be what, 7 times 7 times 12 is 14. 84. So 84 inches to centimeters. So okay. So an HO scale door should be 24 and a half millimeters, basically, if you want it 7 feet tall. All right. And so what you're going to do, JD, is you're going to go in there, and there's a place in that slicer where you can rescale, and you're going to click rescale, and you're going to click the button where it says that it'll snap all of them, you know, and then you just click in one of the things, because Z, X, and Y, and you just click in one of the things and you'll do like 50%. Say it's way too big. You'll do like 50%, hit enter, and go in there and measure it again. And when you get that door to where that door is your 24, 25 millimeters, then you know you scaled it down to HO scale. That's a really long story, and I can walk you through doing that one day if you ever want to get together and do that. I mean, just let me know, and that we can just do that for fun. That ain't hard at all. I just have to look at your slicer. Like I said, in Cura, I can show you exactly what to do and exactly how to do it, but it's going to be in a different place on your slicer. Let's see if we can do this. Yeah, a door is usually a really good place to start. All right, there we go. All right, so whoop, this guy right here is the one that needs all the work. And see, I think this fan's fine. I hate to change it. This is the one that needs changing, but I might as well do it since I'm doing them both. I mean, since I'm doing one, I might as well do them both. But this one's got to come apart. All I need to do for this one is change the filament. And that can seem simple, but if you do that, I don't know how you do it, JD, but if you do it, you might already do it this way. Do you push it through? Do you heat it up and push it in and then pull it out? So I'm going to go to, yeah, all right. I'm heating to 215 now. I usually print at 205 or 200 if possible. I find the lower that I print, the better details I get. But what can happen is you can get, if you're not printing at a high enough temperature, that the extruder will start knocking and it'll start not pushing enough through, and that can cause a problem. You got to be careful of that. That extruder will also knock if you've got the nozzle too close to the deck. If you hear that extruder knocking, it's either your temp's too low, your Z-stop is too low on the deck, or you got a clog in the nozzle. There's a pretty big delay. Wow. JD, it's looking like I got like a 1 minute delay or something. I've never had one that long. Might even be longer than that. Oh well. All right, so we're up to 215 here. And I assume we're good. Yeah, we're up to 215 here, and I hit the lever. Also, you can get the all right. Also, you can get this lever on the extruder, the one that you have to push in. You know, that you have to hold in so you can push the filament in to release it and pull it back out. If that lever gets too tight, it'll start printing bad and it might start knocking. All right, here, here. I like the color of this, man. I, I mean, I like it a little bit lighter than that, but that's not a bad color at all. The light won't bleed through that. You can print in some colors and put your LED in there, and it'll glow like a light bulb. Cut to 45. I like that they have a thing you can view. Hatchbox doesn't. Hopefully this stuff will print good. And it slides right in. Now what I do is I raise the Z stop. Hey John, how you doing? Good to see you, man. I'm gonna raise the Z stop before I cool it. I didn't mean to raise it that much. Uh-oh. So John, I don't know how to talk to you about this on here, but so this is so strange. I have the cameras pointing at the 3D printers, and I guess you're not going to hear this till much later. But oh here I've got like I literally have a 2.5 minute delay, John. Maybe 3 minutes. Not that it matters, but all right. So I'm gonna lower it a little. I didn't mean to get it that high. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower it some more. Is I'm gonna push it through and make sure I don't have any clogs in the nozzle. I'm gonna pull it back out about 2 inches before I turn it down to cool because I don't have anything. As a matter of fact, I do have something to print, but I need to do some alterations to it first. Matter of fact, JD, I need to rescale something. Wonder if I might do that just so you can see it. All right, now I'm gonna push in until I hit the nozzle. And until I've got a nice single stream coming down. And then I'm going to pull it back a little. All right. Let's see here. You see that? That's what came out. And so had I left that alone, I wouldn't have had wouldn't have had a print of as good a quality as I could have because of that. So there was a little clog in there is what that's showing. And so I'm doing it one more time. All right. Still looks like there's a little clog in there. We'll try again. And I might need a new nozzle. No, we're good. It's clear now. I'm gonna pull it back. Yeah, it came out clean. All right, now I pull it back, and then I'm gonna turn the temperature back down. Now let's see. I think that I can pull up my Tinkercad. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I can't believe you actually heard me that quick. I'm wondering if what I'm talking about doesn't jive with what's being shown. Um, so yeah, I can come here and here. All right, here and so, uh-oh, here, 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 there. All right, now what I should be able to do is share my Tinkercad screen. Let's see if that changes. Oh, oh wait, hold on. My camera need to be on. Wait. It's not showing my screen, and I really. Oh wait. Hold on. Maybe I need to change this stuff. Okay, that's what I want. There we go. All right. Get it eventually. Let's see. Where's my phone? I can see y'all here. All right. So, JD, what I do is I've got somebody who needs a diner and Z scale. All right. And I have the decks already ready, except for when I assembled a diner in the N scale for somebody, and I had somebody who assembled the diner in the S scale, and we both talked about what needed to be changed, and we fixed a few things, and I did it on the N scale model. So what I'm going to want to do is find that N scale model that I made the changes to and rescale it to Z. So Z has the same changes, if you see what I mean. Uh, Oh, I'm on the wrong page. All right, right here is, and I haven't even fixed. See, it's hard for me to keep up with what I've done. All right, so this one I made a few changes to, and see, I've got it 524. Oh, I did make that. Here's the diner wall 624. All right, so I made some changes, and so rather than printing them all in one deck, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to, well, to best show you how you can do it. Okay, I'm going to do it both ways because I need to do it too. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go start a new one. This is the old one. And I'm going to move this over here for now so I don't make any mistakes. And I'm going to paste this. Now, this is in scale right now. And I'm in the CAD program, and JD, you can bring your stuff from Thingiverse into the CAD program if you want to manipulate it more and do more to it. I gotta wait for that piece to turn not red. Mm. All right, and one of the things that I need to do. So what I do is I come to my calculator, right, and I'm going from N scale to Z scale. So what I do is I divide 160, which is in scale, divided by 220, which is Z scale. And what that gives me is 72.7%. So in the CAD program, all I do is I come over here and I hit the corner and I do 73%. Enter. Here, backspace, 73%. Enter. And then the height, 73%. Enter. All right. Now the adjustments that have been made should show. Let's see here. 1480 by 1640. And yet with 1480 by 1679. So you see there there has been a change. 1480 by 1679. 1480 by 1665. So see, I made these a tad bit longer and they fit a little better now. So I wanted that change to take place. Now I'm going to leave that here, and then I need to go get the roof and the base and stuff. And so I'll go backwards, and the end scale base and roof right here. And I need to change this to 624. Because I made these roofs a little thicker, and I made this a little bit smaller because it wasn't wanting to fit on there right. It was a little bit too big. See, let me show you. I'm gonna move it there. I think it's snug, but I think I got it now. It's still kind of snug, to be honest. I don't know. I need to print one of those again. I just print two of them together, though. All right. So I'm going to copy. I go backspace. I'm going to the file that I just had. Where did it go? right here. I didn't change it. All right. Back here. All right. So now I will paste again. And here, 73%. Here, 73%. And here, 73%. All right. Now this is better anyway, because what the customer could do is cut this straight through the middle and paint these one color and this one color. And that makes it easier if they're airbrushing. All right, now what I want to do real quick before I delete this is I want to check 1450, 15320. 1460, 53540. Okay. I am going to shrink these further. I don't know. They just do. I'm holding shift and alt, and they're no good if they're too big. And so I'm going to take and check this out. Yeah, that fits inside. And it's snug, but it needs to be. All right. Love those Z-scalers. One print deck. Here we got 23 and 51. 51. I never changed the size of these. I just changed the thickness. 150. One. Yeah. All right. I did change the thickness. Whoa. 325. 255. I'll change it to 3. I don't want it too thin. Here, let's check this one. 1.5. Yeah, that's fine. All right. We'll here and delete. Now, I'm going to come back here. And I did all that, JD. Uh-oh. Properties. Let's change it to 624. And now I'm going to be able to print that, but I am going to do it. I can still show you. All right, here. So what I'm going to do is export it in STL. Might be a lot going on with the computer. And while this is doing this, I'm going to come here. And so, JD, right here, you got an HO scale chimney, right? All right. Hey, Wild Bill, how's it going? So, JD, you got an HO scale chimney right here, laying on its side and stuff, but it's an HO scale chimney. Now, if I go from HO scale to N scale, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 87 on my calculator. I hit 87 divided by 160 because I'm going from HO scale to N scale. And that gives me 54.3%, right? So what I'm going to do is I come to my options over here in my slicer, and I know yours is going to be a little different, but if I come here, here's the scale. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is come here and I'm going to go 54 Wait, that doesn't look right. I did the wrong thing. Edit, excuse me, undo. All right. Here, this is model here. All right, here. Now, if you remember, JD, I mentioned clicking a button when you do this. Uniform scaling is what I want you to click. And what that's going to do is when you change the X to 54%, it's going to change Y and Z as well. And so I'm just going to go backspace 54, enter. I now have an N scale. All right. So I got an N scale chimney that I want to take to HO scale. I do 160 divided by 87. I get 183.9% or 184%. So I click. I'm on my scale. I'm on the scale. And I'm going to go 184%. 184, boom. That doesn't look right. %100. Edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo. Oh, I think I went back. Oh, okay. I see what happened, JD. All right. So what happened is it's going back from the original. So I can't do it twice. Okay. So we're at 100% now. All right. And I think if I keep doing edit, undo, yeah. All right. We're back to the original at 100% at HO scale. So let's say I did want to make it O scale. I would go 87 divided by 48 equals 181%. 181 because it's HO scale right now. If I do 181% of HO scale, I'm going to get O scale. There you go. All right. Now if we go back here, and this is not exported. I'll try to rush it because I'd like to start a print and see if I like that filament. We'll come back to that one. Yeah, I'm getting ready to move. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I never changed it. Shoot. All right. Thank you. I just caught what was going on. All right. So we're going to go back to StreamYard, present. We're going to stop screen, and then we're going to present, and we're going to share screen, and we're going to do window Cura share. All right. There we go. Now I need to go back to the correct thing. There we go. All right. My bad. Hey, Jerry's in the house. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, man? All right, JD, let's try this again. This is an HO scale chimney. I was showing y'all the Tinkercad screen talking about all this before. So you got the HO scale chimney. Over here, you can, in the slicer, you can move, you can rotate, you can rescale, and that's what we're looking for. So I got uniform scaling on there, and that's what you want. And so what I was saying before, if you go from HO scale to O scale, for example, you multiply, you divide in your calculator the starting scale, which is HO 87. We're going to 48 divided by 48 equals 181. So it's 181%. So you come over here, as long as you got uniform scaling done, you do 181, enter, and there's your HO scale. I mean, your O scale. I'm going to edit, undo, and take it back to HO. Now, if I wanted to do HO scale to N scale, I do 87 divided by 160.
Unknown caller.
%. So I'm in HO scale. I want to go to N. N scale is 54% of HO. I do 54, and there's the N scale chimney right there. All right. And so your slicer should be able to do something similar to that. Now, what you're going to need to do, JD, because the thing is some of your files that you'll be doing could say what scale it is already. But if it doesn't, you're going to use the door method, and you're going to have to use the measuring tool. And usually the measuring tools are pretty challenging, at least to just right at first. And you might have to YouTube on how to use yours in your slicer. All right, there, here. Here. Let's see if this is all right. Of course it did. So we'll go back to present, share screen. I got to put them back in probably. Share screen, window. It's going to be Cura. Why can't I? So there, here, here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is the Z-scale model, the STL file downloaded. So I'm going to click on my chimney and hit delete because I don't need it anymore. Anyway, there's the measuring tool, getting ready to measure stuff. And then I'm going to hit the folder. It's on my downloads. I do Z-scale diner. And so here comes the diner in Z-scale. Now what I'm going to do is I hit the right mouse button and I look under it and make sure I see all blue. When I see all blue, I know that I'm laying flat on the deck and I'm going to get a good print as a result. Usually what I'll do is I print these with a raft. Right here, build plate adhesion. You got choices: skirt, brim, raft, or none. None is the most efficient, but the most risky. Raft is the most expensive. But raft gives my pieces, and I didn't used to do this, JD, when you got modeled from me a long time ago. So what this prints on now is this nice raft, and it's expensive, and it costs a little filament. But what it is the pieces stick real good to it, and you can airbrush from them without the pieces blowing around, and which is important for these little guys. And so you paint them on this raft stuck to it, and then you just flex the raft and the pieces pop off. And so what I'm going to do is slice, and I will come to my SD card. It gets put in. All right. And now we will go to the printer. Well, I haven't done much maintenance. Hey, does anybody start streaming in just a minute? Kind of glad that I have a Z scale to do with this new filament, because it'll sure tell me what kind of filament I got on my hands. John, I don't think you're in here. I'm trying a new filament eSun. It's Pro Max. All right. So we'll come back here. And this is a 2 hour and 50-minute print with the raft. Probably be about a 2 hour and 10-minute print without it. See, new one. We'll let it heat up. Now, what I do is I let it get started and I watch it pretty close. And I use the baby step, the Z baby step adjustment. And I guess it's a tenth of a millimeter, maybe. And so I kind of watch pretty close. I look at the filament, I make sure it's not smashed down too much. When I run my fingers over it, first of all, I want to make sure that it sticks when I run my finger. I mean, I lightly run my finger over it, but I want to make sure it sticks, and I want to feel a lump. I don't want it to be flat and smashed against the deck. A lot of times, if it's smashed against the deck, the details aren't going to come out super good, and you are playing with the possible clog there if you got it too close. If you got it too high, when you brush your finger across it, it's gonna your filament line's gonna move, and at that point, I usually, just so I don't have it cause a problem later, I'll stop the print and do it again, just because I don't want to, I don't want it messed up. Now, if I catch it quick enough, and it goes back around and doesn't pick it up or anything, then I'll leave it like that. Um, you've never used it, John? All right. Um, well, like I said, that the Hatchbox Pro Plus Max is expensive, and I was not happy with the quality the last two times, and I was having a lot of trouble getting good details um, out of it because I was having to melt it at a higher temperature. Now that print over there is the one that it's usually the one with the green is usually bulletproof, but it's the one that's got to have all this work done to it. Once I get all that stuff changed, I'm hoping it's right back to where it was. I could really depend on that one over there most of the time. When that one's down, oh, okay, we came back. Uh, Recording, you'll be fine. Um, I don't know if you have me on Google Chat, you can usually get me pretty quick on there. Email, I check those. I'm hit and miss. Um, so I've got the bed on 60, and I believe I'm going to turn it down to 55. I don't know why I got it set that high. Probably because of that Pro Max. And I've got the nozzle at 205, and if I can run it even lower, I will. So all this has to come apart in a minute. I don't know if I'll do it. I probably am going to do it on here in a minute. All this has to come apart. Um, all this will be disassembled. I'm going to have to turn the heat. I need to go ahead and turn the heat on this one so I can pull this apart. I have to go ahead and start getting this ready. Because hopefully this print over here is going to take off without a hitch and we're going to be good. I don't know how we're going to be doing with background noise at that point. So what I do right here, now yours is going to be a little different, but what I do is go here and tune and baby step Z. And what that's going to do is let me go up 1/10 of a millimeter up or down. And so rather than me changing, each of the four, each of the four the other way. See, I think we're a little low. Sounds like it. Let's go ahead and put this in. And instead of changing each of the four manual wheels, I can just change the. All right, we too high. I'm not seeing big, thick, pretty lines like I would like to. That ain't a great sign, man. All right, it's getting better. Thank goodness. No. All right. We're not going to be able to get done with this in record speed. Um, wait. I don't get that. You take the nozzle to 212. I need to get a camera that shows down here, and I just need to get the phone that we backup phone what y'all put on the charger. AJ didn't put on the charger, right? It might work. We'll have to see. Mm. Oh wow! It's important to read the side. It says the printing temp is a minimum of 210, whereas usually I got 190 to 220. This is 210 to 230. So I should have probably read. And we'll bump it up to 215. It seemed like it was struggling. Make sure this isn't too tight. All right. What time is it? I don't know if I'm not going to be able to finish all the changing stuff, but I might start and then finish tomorrow. Let's see here. Tune. It's just not giving me like a super nice thick line that I like to see. And it's not a good sign. I went to 220. It's not knocking or anything. Mm-mm. I'm not happy at all. This is a real drag. Um, Golly, I wish. See, this printer over here works really good. Even up to about till 45 minutes till it clogs. And I would love to put the filament in there and see how it runs it. But I got to clean the whole thing out to do that. Man, I'm frustrated. Uh, I'm gonna make sure that it wasn't knocking, so I'm gonna tighten it to make sure that I do have everything tight enough. I was able to turn that a little. Hopefully that might change something. Yeah, I think he's well on his way, it sounds like, Jer. See, I got a clog, so I don't know if it's the filament or not. But I don't really know why I have a clog. So it could be that. Ooh. All right. I think this bad boy might have to come apart too. It felt better again, but it did that last time too. All right. I tightened the extruder up a little bit. I'll try to run it at 220. And let's see if we can get a better line. Dang, bridges, huh? Are those operable bridges, JD? Or are they for like are they for like are the bridges, do they actually Jerry, you're printing something? Jesus. Are they bridges for a train to go over, or are they for like your road scenes or whatever, JD? Excuse me. I need to get over here. I'm gonna say it's gonna be better, and then it's gonna stop being better. So I just don't say nothing. They're still not as nice and as thick as I would like to see it. And I mean, they're not like, so what I changed up here is I made sure that I had the gears tight enough on the filament because this will loosen up. It's a new dual gear extruder, and it's kind of it loosens up till it gets worn in. At least it's been loosening up. The other one would do it too, but not as bad or as fast. One single track and one double track. That's awesome. I gotta go check that out. It's summer now. I'm able to watch some videos. I haven't been, but like I said, I'm tutoring too. So speaking of, I, I got a message earlier. I need to check. Uh-oh. Mm. All right. Well, this is going to print and print, right. It looks like, but I'm not sure exactly. We'll have to see about the quality. It's good that we're doing a Z-scale model because I'll be able to actually take it and pull it down in case you don't specify, because then it just goes in blank. And it also is a good indicator for me uh, how our details are printing. I got little bitty pieces picking up right there on that point, and I don't like that. They'll just start to dog ear just a little bit off the deck, and then before you know it, you actually have a problem. And as I'm saying that, the problem's getting worse. I hope I didn't make it worse. A lot of my existence is spent doing this. This is not printing with a raft, but it says raft. Oh, I did the wrong one. I think I'm printing the wrong file. That's what's wrong. Uh-oh. What time we got? 6:24. I'm gonna let y'all go in a few minutes, but I sure appreciate y'all being here. Um, I'm gonna probably come back on in the morning. It might even be super early, and I'm gonna do the things that I meant to do over here on the green printers. I'm going to be changing. If you weren't here earlier, I'm going to be changing the heat break. And I'll talk about that before I go. That's what I need to do. So hopefully, some people that maybe watch the replay will come in the morning if they're interested in seeing how I'm doing it. So I'm going to save to removable. See, it was printing. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't printing right. And it wasn't printing right because I don't think I was printing the right file. I came in and I deleted the old one, or I thought I deleted the old one, and maybe I did not. It's going to be really weird if. No. The one I just printed, I did in June of last year. So this is exactly why I can possibly just go back crawfish on everything I just said about the filament. It might be fine. There was no way to tell. See, the raft lays these really thick lines at the beginning, and that's a great indicator to me how things are going to go for the print. And this was laying these little bitty normal lines, and I couldn't figure that out. So let's see, maybe we'll get a better result here. While this is heating up, there's 55. I couldn't remember me saying I couldn't figure out why it was on 60. I can't do the nozzle yet anyway. All right. So for tomorrow morning, what I'm going to be doing is this has to come off, and inside of here is the hot end, the heat break, and the nozzle. Here's a fan. Here's a fan. Here are these two fans. Those are going in tomorrow. All right. I've got to open up the actual brains of it, motherboard, and work with that. And so that's kind of dangerous and risky. The screws are really small. They can fall on the carpet. I'll say bad words. But one of the things is this is getting clogged up all the time, and I'm afraid is that the heat break, that nozzle's right here. There's a hot end around it, and this Bowden tube goes down into there. But what this does is keeps the hot end from melting the filament that's in the heat break, because it'll cause a clog if it melts before it comes out to the nozzle. And so I'm afraid that after 3 years or whatever, mine has worn out. So I've got new ones. I'm going to be changing that because this is clogging after about 45 minutes to an hour every print. And so we're thinking that what's happening is it's the heat's not getting broken. It's warming up, and the filament's getting clogged in there. Another thing that could be are the fans. If the fans aren't cooling properly, it can cause that. And to nozzle 20. Maybe step Z. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Thank goodness. Very nice. Very thick. Very smooth. very flat line. So we could be giving this an okay. So back to here. As the filament's coming through this hot end, it's getting too hot, clogging in the hot end. One thing that can make the hot end get too hot, other than the heat break being bad, is if this fan or this fan is not cooling properly or working properly. So we got new fans. The next thing that could possibly happen if your filament is clogging, other than you needing to change the nozzle, is if this thing right here where the Bowden tube goes in, if this pneumatic coupler gets worn out, it'll let this Bowden tube get pushed back up, and then there's a gap in there between in the heat break. The Bowden tube gets pushed up from here to say here, and then you get a puddle in there that causes a clog. There's the other one. And what happens with these guys is these blue clips can get worn out that hold the pneumatic coupler, or the pneumatic part of the coupler can get worn out. If it's worn out, it won't hold the tube down in here, and the tube comes up, you get a puddle. So I've either got problems with the fans, and I know I got a problem with this fan. I've got either a problem with the heat break, or I got a problem with the pneumatic coupler. All of those, which we're going to change tomorrow. Early in the morning, I would think. Probably even we'd be done by 9 a.m., I would hope. So maybe even a little before. I also have a tentative tutoring session tomorrow, so it could be that I'm not able to stream until later tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, thanks guys. I'm hearing a little bit of, I might need to loosen this just a tad, but yeah, I wish I could, I guess I can. Let's see. Oh, sorry for shaky cam, but so what this will do is it'll print a 5mm raft, and then it'll print the pieces on top of that. And so I've got to figure out exactly what's going on with my schedule, but I want to thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you. It was great to see you, John, Bill, Jerry, JD. Thank you for hanging in there with me the whole time. I appreciate y'all coming. And I don't know. Y'all said somebody stream. Do we have good night? Uh-oh. Okay. So what I just heard when when my nozzle went from one side of the print deck to the other, I heard a little rub. And what that means is I need to bump up another 1/10 of a millimeter. Be kind up if you're not careful. But if it's just above that, that's where you right where you need it. When it went across, it didn't rub enough to pull anything up or damage anything. It just rubbed enough to let me know that I needed to bump it up. And I used the baby step Z for that, and I went up 1/10 of a millimeter. Y'all have a great evening. I appreciate y'all coming. And I hope to be streaming and see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all at the, I think there might be a stream in a half hour, and I'm going to make some dinner and try to attend that. Oh, by the way, if you are, wait, if you haven't gone yet, I did put a link in the description, And so what it is down there is the link that's in the description is asking you to write a review for me. It's just a paragraph. It's all you got to do. And you don't have to have been a tutoring student of mine. You just have to be familiar with my work at all. If you've seen my work, if you know about my work. I mean, like, for example, JD, I just showed you how I would work with somebody, you know, kind of. But what it is on the superprof that I'm doing this summer, I'm tutoring on 3D printing and 3D modeling. And the more reviews you get, the more exposure you get to potential students. So anybody that's watching this replay or that was in here with us today, my brother John's already done this for me. Thank you, John. Eminem Mark did one for me as well. But I haven't sent them out to everybody. I didn't want to bug y'all. But if you are here, you don't mind, there's a link to my ad in the description, but below the link to my ad is a link to where you can leave me a review. And if you leave me a little review, it's going to help me with getting exposed to other clients and other students. And so that would be helpful to me. So anybody that's here now, if you're willing to do that, just go down there and click the link, write a paragraph or whatever. It's real simple. And if you're watching the replay, also, I would appreciate it if you would, and you're familiar with my work, you would leave me a review on Superprof. It's helpful to me. There's also, if you're watching the replay and I don't know you, you're not familiar with my channel, you're not a subscriber already or anything like that, and you are interested in learning how to 3D print, learning how graphic design with Tinkercad, how to slice with Cura, and then 3D print for your model railroad, you can go on there and I'll help you individually through that ad that's in Superprof. Appreciate you guys for watching the stream and hanging in there today. Thank you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure exactly what it is.